We know he didn't particularly care for interviews. In fact, he described himself as shy, but in the last day or so, we're learning quite a bit about another side of Prince. Many of his friends described him as hilarious. They say if he hadn't been a singer, he would have made an incredible comedian. One of my next guests found that out during a show of his own. Cedric The Entertainer joins me on the phone. Also with us, Chuck D, part of the legendary hip-hop group Public Enemy. Thanks to both of you for joining me. Cedric, let me start with you. Tell us how you came to know Prince. I understand you told a joke about him during one of your shows.
Yeah. You know, I mean, he was a guy who loves all kinds of entertainment, and so I was in Minneapolis kind of early in my career, you know, smaller venue, you know, and I'm doing a joke about, you know, like how your relatives borrow your clothes, and I said, so, you know, Prince got a nephew or niece or somebody nephew gonna come on, and like, let me get some out your closet, and he's like, well, you know, I got these pants with the butt out. With the butt cheeks out, and you know, and he's like, "Oh no, you can keep those." And you know, and everybody was laughing. And it was just this whole funny joke. And then later on in my dressing room, somebody came and was like, "Prince was in the audience. He heard that joke." And then they sent a note and told me that, you know, he invited me out to Paisley Park and all that. It was just crazy. Like, it was just, I just couldn't believe he was sitting in the audience somewhere in the corner, like, and saw it. And so, you know, he's since then, you know, I've been invited to the house several times. I was on stage with them in Los Angeles singing Raspberry Beret and didn't know all the words, and he stopped the music and was like, "You don't know the words?" I said, "I know it my way. I know that I work at the Five and Dime. My boss was Mr. Key, he wasn't Mr. McGee. So I'll just I do it the way black people sing it. Just anything that makes sense to them, we put in the song."
Chuck D, you collaborated with Prince on an album and you performed together. What was it like to work with him?
The maestro. It's like when you put in the same vernacular, Duke Ellington, Louis Armstrong. I mean, for black folks, he meant almost everything in the last 50 years to us. And because he signified time of past, present, and future. And I recorded with Prince in 1999 at Paisley Park, and the tripped out thing, he had a garage sale on the lawn of Paisley Park. That's how community-oriented Paisley Park was to the community. And I'm like, "Are you having a yard sale?" "Yeah, I'm selling cars." And I'm like, dude, and basketball rims up in there. So it was mind-blowing experience. And anytime that he was on stage and I was in the audience, he would call me up to do what I do. And I'm like, okay, I'm awestruck, but I better get my head focused and do the thing.
So incredible. Cedric, in recent years, we've lost several just icons. Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, David Bowie earlier this year.
Maurice White.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been a tough year, and I mean, you think about it. I mean, just losing so many people that means that their music lives on. Though, I mean, it's the thing about everybody has a great Prince story. How he touches you, how his music meant, you know, something very specific for you. You know, and, you know, I remember the song Adore came out, and I live in St. Louis, and it was just such a big hit. I remember that the radio played it like 8 times in a row, and nobody complained. Like, people just let the radio just play this song over and over again one night. It was just, nobody worried about it. We just loved that song when it came out, and I just can remember, you know, that was just the effect of what he had on people like that with his songs and his music.
I think I played When Doves Cry 6 times on my way to work today. What about you? What have you been playing, Cedric?
I'm doing dance music, sex, romance. I'm hole in my head and need another lover like a hole in my head. I've been rocking all those the last few days. And Erotic City is for the Deep Voice Brothers. I say that's the time he wrote a song that I can actually sing in my range.
Yeah. What about you, Chuck?
Yeah. On my radio show and rap station, Dear Mr. Man. Also, you got Sign of the Times. We did a song called Undisputed. Let's Go Crazy.
Yeah.
And, you know, another thing about Prince, remember there was a time recently that he made inroads. He revolutionized the MP3 movement in digital music, and we ran toe-to-toe and buddies in trying to liberate music. And he doesn't get the credit that he deserves for that. to make everybody get their music now on their phones or whatever. And then people also tend to forget when they said he was making too much music. That's impossible because now it's like Picasso. Now it's not, all his catalog is not enough music.
Yeah.
And they'll be minding his music for the next 50 to 100 years as long as we have players and have ears to listen. So Prince was always in the future. If you want to talk about anything from the past, I know you kind of remember this, Said, being from St. Louis, hearing about Prince selling out 8 in a row Joe Louis Arenas concerts in Detroit. I'm like, 8 in a row?
Man.
Joe Louis Arena.
Dude, he could sell out a show. That was the thing about it. He was so magical. Like, Prince could sell out a show the day he coming. You wouldn't even know he's coming. You wouldn't even know he's coming. He'd be like, yo, Prince gonna be here tonight. Show gone. Like, everybody's packed. Like, crazy.
Before the internet, right? It was like Prince was already the internet before the internet. Oh, how did you know about this gig? Yo, Prince let it out. You had to get that record.
And he would throw these great late-night parties, man. That was everybody would talk about, like, and he would have somebody cooking. He liked to cook, and, you know, it'd be late. It'd be band people at his house. You'd look up, and Adam Levine is singing, and it's just crazy. And, you know, you had to be, like, you know, invited in, but it would be breakfast and food and just late night. He'd just be walking around cool, like just a regular dude, like just amazing.
Was he Chuck, was he like well, go ahead, Chuck.
Well, another thing, Prince in the last 20 years was saying things very relevant to the environment and the world and the social state of things, all the way up to the last minute with a song called Baltimore. And he was always liberating women to be musicians. And it's like the world is missing a note when he actually, you know, transitioned. And we salute him. I mean, we salute him with the utmost respect.
Such an honor to listen to you two. Such an honor to listen to you two, Chuck and Cedric. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jake. I appreciate it, man. Long live Prince.
Yep. Thanks, Jake. Thanks a lot, Sid.